Well, it's back to Thompson Speedway this week for a midweek show, Wednesday night event for the Thompson 125. We're back inside the Mayhew Tools Garage for another race week preview. Doug Coby and Phil Moran joining once again. And Doug, this is a racetrack in 125 laps. If I look back over the history books, and you could do this with any race, there's been a variety of different cautions and number of laps to go with it. But last year, 2 cautions for 10 laps. It doesn't give you a lot of room for error. So as a driver, do you have to be up on the wheel a little bit more with the shorter distance?
Oh, that's hard to answer. It really all depends on how the race unfolds and also how the racing surface responds. There was one year, 2 or 3 years ago, that everybody started getting loose at lap 20, and I think Woody Pickett and I just about lapped the whole field before the caution came out, and we were the only 2 cars that could get any drive, and then we thought that that's how that race was going to unfold every year, and the next year it didn't happen. So, you know, Thompson's a tricky place. When you start to get into the late spring and early summer months there, you just don't know what racetrack you're going to get. So forget the race distance, it's what's the racetrack going to do. And the 125, I don't think it changes our pit strategy too much. You know, you try to pit halfway, whether it's lap 75 of 150 or right around, 65 or so of the 125. But you just really don't know when the cautions are going to fall.
We never know what the April weather is going to bring from one year to the next, so you're kind of guessing when you go into the icebreaker. June, you're going to think most times it's going to be nice and warm, but that's not always the case. Phil, how do you adapt to the changing track conditions when it's such a wild card for this June race?
Good question.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice and just go by our notebooks from years past. We have a crew member that he measures a dew factor. In other words, he goes up on the roof of the car and he wipes his finger across it. If it's got some dew, we're going to put a little more bite in it, or we're going to close the stagger up, or whatever we're going to do. But it's just very weather sensitive. I mean, the track changes all 4 races, so it's good to have a good notebook.
I need a dew finder for me, I think. That's pretty good. Did you know he did that?
I don't even think they call it a dew finder. I mean, if the guy's wiping his finger on the roof, I don't know exactly how scientific that is, but that's something my dad would believe. He always used to do that when I was a kid in quarter midgets and also running Stafford. So a lot of guys do that. If there's dew on the roof, you make certain adjustments, and people do that all across the country in all forms of racing.